Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Hello, friends, and welcome again to the New Orleans Public Library's virtual story time. My name is Jeff, and I'm really excited to be able to share today's story time with you. We do these every week. You can check NOLALibrary.org to check in on the virtual story time recorded on Monday afternoons. Every Saturday, we're also offering a story time live via Zoom that you can sign up for and participate in. Be sure and check that out too. We're very excited to be able to offer those. So today's story is going to be using our favorite tool at the Children's Resource Center, which is our trusty felt board. If you've seen us do this before, you know that we like using our felt board because it is a great way to tell stories with our hands and with our pictures. And it helps us all, and helps the young ones watching develop their narrative skills. At home, you might want to try and do an exercise where you tell stories together using either pictures that you have around the house, or maybe someone's dolls or action figures, or things that you see on the way to the store, or just on a journey in your everyday stuff. Our story today is going to be Jack and the Beanstalk, and we also enjoy that because it is springtime right now. And springtime is a time to get out and do gardening and farming. And later we'll talk about some of the resources that the library offers to help you do that sort of thing. It's also a really great way to get out and work with your hands again in the same way that our felt board story is. And we're going to start by doing a short finger play that will get us in the mood to do some farming. And it goes like this. First, you take a seed and you plant it in the ground. The ground. You plant it in the ground. Then you take the water and you pour it all around. You pour it all around. Then you give it air, and you give it time, and soon a tree will start to grow. And hey, ain't that just fine? So, we're going to go ahead and start our Jack and the Beanstalk story. Once upon a time, there was a poor widow. And the poor widow had only one son, and his name was Jack. Jack and his mother had a cow, and the cow's name was Milky White. And every day, Jack's mother would milk the cow, and Jack would take the milk and sell it at the market. But one day, the cow was dry and there was no more milk to sell. And Jack and his mother were very hungry. Well, that does it, said Jack's mother. We'll have to sell Milky White. And so she sent Jack off to sell the cow. Along the way to the market, Jack ran into a funny-looking man. Good morning, Jack. Where are you off to? Said the funny-looking man. I'm going to the market to sell our cow. And you've got the look of a proper businessman about you. Then the man took out 5 funny-looking beans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll tell you what, said the man. I will give you these 5 beans for that cow. 5 beans, said Jack. Milky White's worth more than 5 beans. Well, okay, said the funny-looking man. If you don't want my magic beans, I'm sure someone else will.
Did you say magic beans? Said Jack. You didn't say they were magic before. And so Jack decided to take the beans, and he left the cow with the funny-looking man. And Jack brought the beans back home to his mother. When Jack came home to his mother, he was very, very excited, and she could tell. "Oh, Jack, you're back already? How much money did you get?" "You'll never guess. I've done better than you could have ever thought." "Oh, wow, let me guess. Is it $50? No. $100? No. Oh, surely it's not 1,000. It's better than that. Oh my goodness." That's when Jack showed his mother the beans. All 5 of them. 2. Jack's mother was not impressed. "Jack, a cow for a handful of beans? Oh, now we're ruined." She was so angry that she sent Jack off to bed without supper. Jack's mother looked at the beans. "Can't believe we're so ruined by these beans." She threw 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, away into the fire. The last one she picked up and looked at for a second, and then threw it out the window. The next morning, Jack looked out the window where his mother had thrown the bean, and he saw an enormous beanstalk reaching way, way, way up into the sky. Way, way up there. So Jack went outside and climbed all the way up the beanstalk, up into the clouds. There, among the clouds, he saw a great big road leading up to a great big house. And on the doorstep of the great big house, there was an enormous woman. "Good morning," said Jack, who was very hungry from climbing all the way up there. "Can you spare anything for breakfast?" "You will be breakfast if you're not careful," said the lady. "My husband is a giant, and he's coming back soon, and little boys like you are his favorite snack." But the giant's wife was very kind, and she gave Jack a little bread and cheese to eat. But before Jack could finish his meal, he heard thump, the thump, the thump of the giant coming home. So Jack hurried up and hid underneath the table. "Fee, fi, fo, fum," said the giant. "I smell the bones of an Englishman." "Well, that's nonsense, dear," said his wife. "You're probably just hungry. Here, I'll get you some bread and cheese." And the giant sat down and had his bread and cheese, and he counted his money until he fell asleep. From under the table where he was hiding, Jack could see the bag of gold that the giant had counted up. So very quietly, he crept out from his hiding place, and he grabbed the bag, and he ran as fast as he could, all the way back down the beanstalk to where his mother was waiting for him. "Mother, mother, did you see? I told you they were magic beans." And Jack showed his mother the bag of gold. But it didn't take Jack and his mother very long to spend all of the gold that Jack had taken. And soon they were hungry again. So it wasn't very long before Jack climbed all the way back up the beanstalk to see what else the giant might have. "Hello," said Jack to the giant's wife. "What's for breakfast?" Again, the giant's wife gave Jack something to eat. But very soon, they both could hear the thump, the thump, the thump of the giant coming home. Jack quickly hid under the table again. "Fee, fi, fo, fum," said the giant. "Wife, bring me the hen that lays the golden eggs." So the giant's wife went and got a hen and placed it on the table. The giant and his wife and Jack from his hiding place all watched as the hen laid an egg made out of solid gold. The giant admired his egg and then slowly again fell asleep in his chair. Jack quietly crept out from his hiding place and he grabbed the hen and he ran as fast as he could. "Cluck, cluck, 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 cluck," called the hen. This caused the giant to start to wake up a little bit. "Wife, what are you doing with my hen?" said the giant. And he looked around, but Jack was already gone. But even though he had the hen that lays the golden eggs, eventually curiosity just got to Jack, and he was ready to go back up the beanstalk. Even though his mother begged him not to do it, Jack got outside and climbed all the way up again. And he came all the way to the castle, and no one was home. Jack went in the castle and looked around, but didn't see anything. So he decided to hide again under the table and see what would happen when the giant and his wife came home. Well, it didn't take long before they were both back in the house. The giant settled into his usual place and said, "Wife, bring me my golden harp." And the giant's wife went in the back and she brought out a golden harp and set it on the table in front of the giant. The giant looked at the magical harp and said, "Harp, sing for me." And just then, the harp began to play beautiful music all by itself. The giant liked his harp very much, and the music was soothing, and pretty soon, the giant, once again, fell asleep. Well, that's when Jack saw his chance. He climbed back out from underneath the table where he was hiding, and he grabbed the harp, and he ran as fast as he could. This time, the harp called out to the giant, "Help! Help! I am being stolen!" The giant this time woke up very quickly, and he saw Jack running away with his harp, and he chased after him. Jack hurried down the beanstalk, with the giant coming down after him as fast as he could. Luckily for Jack, he was faster than that giant, and when he got home, he handed his mother the harp, and he chopped down that beanstalk. The beanstalk was very large, and the giant was still on top of it, and it swayed, and it fell over, and it deposited the giant very far away. Now that the beanstalk was gone, Jack and his mother realized they were very lucky to have the golden harp and the hen that laid the golden eggs. So one day, they took the gold from one of the eggs and they went down to the market and they used that gold to buy beans. Not magic beans this time, just the regular kind. As many beans as they could get. And they planted them in their own farm just outside the house. And from that day forward, Jack and his mother and everyone in their town had everything they could possibly want to eat forever and ever. That's the end.
Okay, and we're back. I hope you enjoyed the story time today. We mentioned earlier that we were going to share some library resources with you, and if you'd like, we like our fairy tales here. If you've seen any of our virtual story times, you can find, at our branch anyway, a very nice copy of this illustrated fairy tales. We did use that to outline our story a little bit. But there's also, what we do like about these fairy tales is that there are so many different variations on them, and a lot of our children's authors are very clever. This is Mary Pope Osborne's Kate and the Beanstalk. And one you can find is by Sheila Herbert Collins that we have here. This is Jacques et le Canne à Sucre, which is a Louisiana theme one. It's got Jack is the Cajun, Jack and the Beanstalk. There are lots of little Cajun phrases and situations in the book, if you like that sort of thing. Also, the other theme today obviously is springtime and gardening. I have on the table some of the nonfiction stuff you might find on gardening at the library. But also we've got stuff for all ages. The babies like these books about farming. There's little flaps that they can look at and examine all of the things that go on the farm. But really what's great about reading books about farming to children is that everyone likes to make the animal noises. One of our all-time favorites, of course, is David Shannon's Duck on a Bike. Duck rides around the farm and the animals talk to him, and that's a lot of fun to read aloud. This is a book by Brian Karras. It's about how people grow items in the farm and bring it to the market, like at a farmer's market. And then as the kids get older, they might want to start looking into actually doing some of this hobby work for themselves. We've got lots and lots of resources on urban farming at the library. Also, there's a lot of this sort of material if you use especially Hoopla and Overdrive, which are online e-resource apps that you can access with your smartphone or your mobile device. Lots of titles. Another thing that we have available for you on the library's website through our databases is EBSCO has a special hobbies database. It's Hobbies, Crafts, and Reference Center, which you can find through the library's website if you have a library card at home. There's a whole section there on gardening and home improvement stuff, which lots of great articles for adults and for children. I think that might be it. We are going to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed our story time today. But before we say goodbye, we're going to bring Miss Marian out, and she is going to sing you our springtime goodbye song. So,
all right, everybody, here's our song today. It goes like this. The farmer plants the seed, the farmer plants the seed. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the farmer plants the seed. And the sun comes out to shine, the sun comes out to shine. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the sun comes out to shine. The rain begins to fall, the rain begins to fall. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the rain begins to fall. And the seeds begin to grow, the seeds begin to grow. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the seeds begin to grow. And the vegetables are here, the vegetables are here. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the vegetables are here. And the farmer digs them up, the farmer digs them up. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the farmer digs them up. Now it's time to eat, now it's time to eat. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, now it's time to eat. And that's our song. Goodbye, everybody.